your maths teacher and students in today's session क्या डिस्कस करने वाले हैं. So in today's session we will be discussing about limits, the second part. Now students, before starting limits, let's discuss about Eduauraa. What is Eduauraa? ये Eduauraa है क्या? So you all know that Eduauraa is basically a digital learning platform and it provides your study materials, it provides your lectures where at an affordable price. कहाँ पे? ऐप डाउनलोड करना है, गूगल प्ले पे जाओ, ऐप डाउनलोड करो, you'll get everything. But क्या क्या मिलेगा? So basically Eduauraa provides your study materials, your lectures from 6th to 12th, IIT, JEE, NEET, other competitive exams and spoken English. And not only this much. Apart from this, it also provides you ebooks, it provides you mind maps, it provides you 2D and 3D interactive videos, and many more. So, what are you guys waiting for? Download the app, and when you download this app, you will get a 14 days free trial. So, to make maximum use out of it, download the app and start watching the videos. Now, students, coming back to our topic, what is today's topic? Today, we will be discussing about limits. Now, if you remember in our previous session, we discussed about limits, that is each and every formula of limits, how to find, how to solve sums of limits with help of formula. But that were basic formulae, that were basic sums. Now, in today's session, we will be solving sums based on limits, which are actually real sums. So, if you know how to solve this type of sums and limits, your continuity will become easy. And if your continuity will become easy, your derivatives will become easy. Your derivatives will become easy, your integration will become easy. So, basically, it's a chain, and this chain is for calculus. So, to make your calculus strong, limits is the most important part. And to make your limits strong, as we discussed earlier, three things should be strong. What are the three basic things? Yes, your laws of indices, your logs, that is properties and laws of logs, and the third one, that is the last but not the least one, the most important part, your trigger formula. If you are strong with your trigger formula, if these three things are strong, you can easily solve limits. So students, without wasting any time, let's start with the first sum. So what is the first sum? So the first question is, evaluate limit extending to 5 x raised to 4 minus 625 upon x minus 5. How to solve this? Now students, looking at this sum, कोई फॉर्मूला की याद आई? यस, एक फॉर्मूला था. कौन सा फॉर्मूला था वो? सो दैट फॉर्मूला वाज लिमिट एक्सटेंडिंग टू a, x raised to n minus a raised to n upon x minus a. So what was the formula? Limit extending to a, x raised to n minus a raised to n upon x minus a is equal to n into a raised to n minus 1. What was the condition to apply this formula? Do you remember it? Now, there were three conditions. Extending to a मतलब कोई constant होना चाहिए. Second condition, बीच में minus sign होनी चाहिए. And third condition, तीनों a जैसे कि तीनों constant same होने चाहिए. अगर ये तीन condition satisfy हो रहे हैं, we can directly apply the formula. So, क्या वो satisfy हो रहा है? Yes, हो रहा है. लेकिन let's write it in a proper form. So, can we write this as limit extending to 5 x raised to 4 minus 5 raised to 4 upon x minus 5. Now students, check all three conditions are matching here. So the first condition is extending to 5, match हुआ? Yes. Second condition, दोनों minus है, match हुआ? Yes. Third condition, तीनों constant same है, मतलब 5 तीनों जगह पे है, तो तीनों condition अगर match हुआ, that means you can say that you are applying the formula. Now in this case, what is n? In this case, n is 4. What is a? It is 5. So when we apply limits, we will write the answer as 4 into 5 raised to 4 minus 1, which is 4 into 5 raised to 3. So students, what is 5 raised to 3? 5 into 5 into 5, that is 5 5s are 25, 25 5s are 125, 125 into 4. So 125 into 4 क्या मिलेगा? So 125 into 4, what do we get? So we get 125, 125, 125, 125. That is 500. So the final answer here will become 500, and this is nothing but the end of your sum. So students, I hope you understood how to solve this sum. Yes. Let's move on to the next question, and our next question is evaluate limit extending to 2 x raised to 7 minus 128 whole upon x raised to 5 minus 32. Now students, tell me one thing, looking at this sum, do you remember some formula? Yes, we have to use the same formula, but कैसे? हमारे पास यहाँ पे डिनोमिनेटर में सिंगल टर्म नहीं है, सो द सिंगल टर्म इज मिसिंग, दैट मींस यू कैन नॉट अप्लाई द फॉर्मूला डायरेक्टली. सो अगर हम ये फॉर्मूला डायरेक्टली अप्लाई नहीं कर सकते तो क्या करेंगे? तो यहाँ पे what we will do is, can we divide numerator and denominator by x minus 2? So can we write the sum as limit x tending to 2 x raised to 7 minus 128 upon x minus 2 whole upon x raised to 5 minus 32 upon x minus 2. Now students, इतना अप्लाई करने के बाद can we consider this whole part as numerator and this whole part as denominator? That means it is in your division form, so limits दोनों के साथ जाएगा using algebra of limits. And in the next step, can we write it in a proper format so that we can apply the formula? So how do we write it? So we will write it as limit extending to 2 x raised to 7 minus 2 raised to 7 upon x minus 2 whole upon x raised to 5 minus 2 raised to 5 upon x minus 2. जब यहाँ पे हम लिमिट अप्लाई करते हैं तो ये लिमिट दोनों के साथ जाएगा. तो जब ये दोनों के साथ जाएगा, कैन वी राइट द नेक्स्ट स्टेप एज 7 into 2 raised to 6 upon 5 into 2 raised to 4. So 2 raised to 4 gets cancelled with 2 raised to 6, so you're just left with 2 raised to 2. So we get 7 by 5 into 4. So what is the answer? So here the answer will be, what is 7 fours are? So 7 fours are 28 by 5. And this is how we solve our sum. So students, I hope it is clear how to solve. Yes, let's move on to the next question, and our next question is limit y tending to minus 3 y raised to 5 plus 243 upon y cube plus 27. Now that's a tricky question students. How do we solve it? Now इतना तो हिंट मिल गया कि कौन सा फॉर्मूला अप्लाई करना है, लेकिन कंडीशन क्या था वो फॉर्मूला के लिए? y tending to 3 y tending to minus 3, that means कांस्टेंट तो है लेकिन बीच में माइनस होना चाहिए, वो तो है नहीं. तो क्या करेंगे? So what we will do here is we will solve the sum, we will write the sum in such a way that we get it in that formula form. Now students, always remember, you can't change the question, and when you can't change the question, you have to start playing with your question. So we will write this as limit y tending to minus 3 y raised to 5 plus 243. Can we write this as y raised to 5 minus of minus 243? Your basic students, minus minus plus होता है. Similarly डिनोमिनेटर में भी हम लिख सकते हैं y cube minus of minus 27. Now माइनस के फॉर्म में तो लिख लिया, लेकिन अभी भी डिनोमिनेटर नहीं है, so we will divide numerator and denominator by y minus of minus 3. So in the next step we will write it as limit y tending to minus 3 y raised to 5 minus of, can we write this minus 243 as minus 3 raised to 5 upon y minus of minus 3 whole upon y cube minus, now minus of 27, can we write it as minus 3 whole cube? whole upon y minus of minus 3. Now students, can we split this limits in numerator denominator form? So when we split it in numerator denominator form and when we apply limits here, we get 5 into minus 3 raised to 4 upon 3 into minus 3 raised to 2. So when we solve this further, what do we get? So we get 5 by 3 into minus 3 raised to 2. What is minus 3 raised to 2? It is nothing but 9. So we get 5 by 3 into 9, which gets cancelled, and ultimately we get the answer as 15. And this is how we solve our sum. So students, I hope it is easy. Yes, let's move on to the next question. And our next question is limit z tending to 2 z square minus 5z plus 6 whole upon z square minus 4. Now students, what will you do? So यहाँ पे you cannot apply that formula. Limitation आ गया वो formula का, तो कैसे solve करेंगे? So algebraic limit अगर solve करना है, along with this formula, there are many types of sums where you can solve, but not with the help of formula. So how will you solve? Again students, your basics. Looking at the numerator, कुछ याद आ रहा है? कोई basic चीज याद आ रही है? Come on, write in your comment section. Quadratic equation. So अगर quadratic equation है, that means कुछ ना कुछ फैक्टर्स रहेंगे, तो पता कैसे चलेगा क्या फैक्टर है? नाउ टेल मी वन थिंग, अगर हम यहाँ पे डायरेक्टली लिमिट अप्लाई कर दे तो डिनोमिनेटर जीरो आ गया. अगर डिनोमिनेटर जीरो आ गया मतलब लिमिट डज नॉट एग्जिस्ट, दैट मींस we cannot solve the sum, but we have to solve this sum. So how do we solve? Now tell me, looking at this sum, looking at this limit, you should come to know, okay, what is the reason which is making this sum 0 by 0? What is the factor? So 2 is the reason which is making your sum 0 by 0. That means z minus 2 is the factor which is making your sum 0 by 0. So what if we remove this z minus 2? You can get the answer. So we are doing the same thing here. We have to remove this z minus 2 so that we can solve the sum. So what we will do is we will write factors of this quadratic equation. So the next step here, we will write it as limit z tending to 2. Can we write this z square minus 5z plus 6 as z square minus 3z minus 2z plus 6 whole upon z square minus 4. Now एक बार यहाँ पे स्प्लिट कर दिया, नेक्स्ट स्टेप क्या है? जोड़ी बनाओ, मेक पेयर्स. So this two together, this two together. So the next step will become limit z tending to 2 z into z minus 3 minus 2 into z minus 3 upon. Can we write z square minus 4? Looking at this denominator, किसी की याद आई? Yes, a square minus b square form. So a minus b, a plus b formula. So can we write this as z minus 2 into z plus 2? Now the next step will become limit z tending to 2 z minus 3 into z minus 2 upon z minus 2 into z plus 2. Now students, your z minus 2 gets cancelled. मतलब the reason which was making your sum 0 by 0 निकाल दिया. Once you remove it, when you apply limits, you will get the answer. So now after removing this factor, when we apply limits, what do we get? So we get 2 minus 3 upon 2 plus 2, which is nothing but minus 1 by 4. And this is how we solve our sum. So students, I hope you understood how to solve this sum. Quadratic equation दिखा, factors निकालो, solve करो, cancel करो, limit apply करो, answer लाओ, खत्म. This is how you solve. And one point to remember, looking at the limit, you will come to know what is the reason which is making your sum 0 by 0. So that means you should get that particular factor. So students, let's solve one more sum, and the next sum based on the same concept of quadratic. And our question is limit x tending to 3 x square plus 2x minus 15 whole upon x square minus 5x plus 6. So students, again there is a quadratic in your numerator, there is a quadratic in your denominator. क्या करेंगे? What is the next step? Write in your comment section. The next step is to find factors. So we will start the sum as limit extending to 3 x square plus 2x minus 15. इसे जब हम split करते हैं क्या मिलेगा? Can we write this 15 as 3 into 5? Can we split this 2x as 5x minus 3x? तो दोनों कंडीशन मैच हो गया. Similarly डिनोमिनेटर के लिए x square minus 5x plus 6 है. तो can we split this x square minus 5x plus 6 as minus 2x minus 3x? And students, looking at the question, what is the reason which is making your sum 0 by 0? x minus 3, क्योंकि लिमिट में एक्सटेंडिंग टू 3 है. सो इतना तो कंफर्म मिल गया कि x minus 3 मिलना ही चाहिए, क्योंकि जब तक x minus 3 नहीं मिलेगा you cannot solve your sum. So let's hunt for x minus 3. So we get the next step as x square. 2x की जगह पे हम लिखेंगे minus 3x plus 5x minus 15 whole upon x square minus 2x minus 3x plus 6. So in the next step we get limit extending to 3. जोड़ी बनाओ x into x minus 3 plus 5 into x minus 3 whole upon x into x minus 2 minus 3 into x minus 2. So the next step will be what? Limit extending to 3 x plus 5 into x minus 3 whole upon x minus 2 into x minus 3. So x minus 3 gets cancelled. The reason which was making your sum 0 by 0 gets cancelled and you are left with x plus 5 upon x minus 2. Now when we apply limits, क्या 0 by 0 आ रहा है? नहीं आ रहा है. So apply your limits, get your answer. So when we apply this limits, we get 3 plus 5 upon 3 minus 2, which is nothing but 8 upon 1. So the final answer here will be 8. And this is how we solve our sum. So students, I hope you understood how to solve this. Yes, let's move on to the next question. And our next question is limit extending to 1 x plus 2 whole upon x square minus 5x plus 4 plus x minus 4 upon 3 into x square minus 3x plus 2. So students, how to solve this? Give me the hint. Now in this case इतना तो श्योर है कि जब हम यहाँ पे लिमिट डायरेक्टली अप्लाई करेंगे, what do we get? So we get 0 in the denominator, which we don't want, right? So when we don't want this, we will have to solve. quadratic equation है, factors निकालने हैं. अच्छा, कौन सा फैक्टर है यहाँ पे जो डिनोमिनेटर को 0 कर रहा है? राइट इन योर कमेंट सेक्शन. क्या आएगा? x minus 1. Yes, x minus 1 is the reason which is making your sum 0 in denominator, which is making limit does not exist. So we need to remove it. How do we remove it? What is the first step? अभी यहाँ पे नॉर्मली पब्लिक क्या करता है, अलग अलग डिनोमिनेटर है, एलसीएम लो, सॉल्व करो, खत्म करो, बहुत बड़ा हो जाएगा. यहाँ पे क्या करना है, यू हैव टू बी स्मार्ट, विच यू गाइज आर ऑलरेडी. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी विल फाइंड फैक्टर्स. फिर जो कॉमन दिख रहा है वहां से हम उसे कैंसिल कर देंगे, वहां से उसे बाहर निकाल देंगे. देन वी विल टेक एलसीएम. सो स्टूडेंट्स, दिस इज योर होमवर्क सम विच यू हैव टू सॉल्व. आई एम गिविंग यू द हिंट. x स्क्वायर माइनस 5x प्लस 4. सो यहाँ पे क्वाड्रेटिक की हेल्प से यू विल गेट टू फैक्टर्स. उसमें से x माइनस 1 तो एक कंफर्म फैक्टर है ही. सिमिलरली x स्क्वायर माइनस 3x प्लस 2, उसमें से भी x माइनस 1 एक फैक्टर तो कंफर्म है. वो 1 अपॉन x माइनस 1 को बाहर निकाल दो, कॉमन. देन यू टेक LCM, solve your numerator. You will get x minus 1 in your numerator, which gets cancelled with your denominator, and after that you have to apply limits. And after that, when you apply limits, you know the final step, your answer. So You have to try this on your own. And if you have any doubt, you can comment and ask the answer. We are there to solve your doubts. So students, I hope you understood how to solve this sum. So homework sum. Moving on to the next question, students. The next question is limit extending to 0, root of 6 plus x square minus root 6 upon x. How do you solve it? So students, in this particular sum, what we will do, यहाँ पे quadratic तो दिखा लेकिन साथ में रूट भी दिखा. Now हमने स्कूल में पढ़ा है रूट दिखा तो रैशनलाइज. सो सबसे पहला स्टेप यहाँ पे हमें रैशनलाइज करना है. So let's rationalize this. And how do we rationalize? Change of sign. So we get the next step as limit extending to 0, root of x square plus x plus 6 minus root 6 upon x into root of x square plus x plus 6 plus root 6 whole upon root of x square plus x plus 6 plus root 6. Now, if you see the numerator part, it is in the form of a plus b, a minus b, that means a square minus b square formula. So, when you apply that formula, we get the numerator as limit x tending to 0, x square plus x plus 6 minus 6 upon x into root of x square plus x plus 6 plus root 6. So न्यूमरेटर में से प्लस 6 माइनस 6 कैंसिल हो गया, हमें ऊपर मिलता है x स्क्वायर प्लस x. सो कैन वी राइट द नेक्स्ट स्टेप एज limit extending to 0, x into x plus 1 upon x into root of x square plus x plus 6 plus root 6. Now, what is the reason which is making your sum 0 by 0? X जो cancel हो जाएगा. The moment it gets cancelled, you can apply limits. So the moment you apply limits, क्या मिलेगा? 0 plus 1 upon root of 0 plus 0 plus 6 plus root 6. So basically you get 1 upon root 6 plus root 6, which is nothing but 1 upon 2 root 6. And this is how we solve our sum. So students, I hope you understood how to solve this part of algebraic limits. So algebraic limits में क्या क्या आ सकता है? Sums based on quadratic, sums based on formula, and sums based on rationalization. So let's take one more example and check how to solve. So students, the question is limit extending to 3, root of 2x plus 3 minus root of 4x minus 3 whole upon x square minus 9. How to solve this? Now tell me one thing, students. Looking at this sum, looking at the limit, what is the reason which is making your sum 0 by 0? So in this particular case, students, x minus 3 is the factor, x minus 3 is the reason which is making your sum 0 by 0. So we need to hunt for x minus 3. पर उसके लिए पहले क्या करेंगे? उसके लिए हमें सबसे पहले rationalize करना है. So let's rationalize the numerator. So we get the next step as limit x tending to 3, root of 2x plus 3 minus root of 4x minus 3 upon x square minus 9 into root of 2x plus 3 plus root of 4x minus 3 upon root of 2x plus 3 plus root of 4x minus 3. Now students, in this case, if you see your numerator, it is in the form of a plus b and a minus b. Now, when it is in the form of a plus b and a minus b, it is a square minus b square formula. So, when you apply that formula, you get the next step is limit x tending to 3, 2x plus 3 minus 4x plus 3 upon x स्क्वायर माइनस 9 को हम लिख सकते हैं x माइनस 3 इंटू एक्स प्लस 3 इंटू रूट ऑफ 2x प्लस 3 प्लस रूट ऑफ 4x माइनस 3. सो यहां पे नेक्स्ट स्टेप क्या मिलेगा? सो यहां पे हमारा नेक्स्ट स्टेप हो जाएगा लिमिट एक्सटेंडिंग टू 3, 2x माइनस 4x क्या हुआ? माइनस 2x एंड plus 3 becomes 6. So can we write minus 2x plus 6 upon x minus 3 into x plus 3 into root of 2x plus 3 plus root of 4x minus 3. Now students, what is the next step? So the next step here is, let's take minus 2 common from numerator. So we get limit extending to 3, minus 2 common, x minus 3 upon x minus 3 into x plus 3 into that whole part, that is root of 2x plus 3 plus root of 4x minus 3. So x minus 3 gets cancelled. That means the reason which was making your sum 0 by 0 cancel ho gaya. Now apply your limits. So when you apply your limits in the next step, you get minus 2 upon 3 plus 3 into root of 2 into 3 plus 3 plus root of 4 into 3 minus 3. So we get minus 2 upon 6 into 2 into 3, 6 plus 3, 9, root 9 becomes 3 plus 4 into 3, 12, minus 3 gives you 9 and root 9 gives you 3. So 3 plus 3, which is nothing but minus 2 upon 36, which is nothing but minus 1 upon 18. And this is how you solve your sum. So students, I hope you understood how to solve this sum. Yes, let's move on to the next question. And our next question is, evaluate limit extending to 0, 2 sin x minus sin 2x upon x cube. Now students, the trigger part. So what you have to do is, इसे देख के लिमिट्स की कोई फॉर्मूला याद आई ट्रिगो से कनेक्टेड? यस, वो फॉर्मूला थी लिमिट एक्सटेंडिंग टू 0 sin x upon x is equal to 1. What is the condition to apply that formula? So the condition to apply that formula is limit extending to 0 होना चाहिए, x should be in radians जो एंगल में है, and both x should be same. If these three conditions match, you can directly apply the formula. So let's start with the sum. Now students, अगर हम यहाँ पे sum देखते हैं तो हमें यहाँ पे एक चीज दिख रहा है कि एक एंगल x है, दूसरा एंगल 2x है. ये तो नाइंसाफी हो गया, मतलब दोनों एंगल सेम करना है. अभी x को 2x करना थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट है, लेकिन 2x को x तो कर सकता है. Yes, your basics, you guys are masters in trigo formula. Apply your half angle formula. So we get the next step as limit x tending to 0, 2 sin x minus sin 2x का फॉर्मूला 2 sin x into cos x whole upon x cube. Let's take 2 sin x common. So limit x tending to 0, 2 sin x कॉमन आ गया. अंदर क्या बचेगा? 1 minus cos x upon x cube. Now students, tell me one thing. 1 minus cos x को दो तरीके से लिख सकते हैं. या तो रैशनलाइज करके लिखो, मल्टीप्लाई डिवाइड बाय 1 plus cos x, या तो apply half angle formula and get your answer. So what I will do is, I will be applying half angle formula so that you have a hang of applying trigo formulas regularly. So I will write the next step as limit extending to 0 2 sine x into what is 1 minus cos 2 theta? It is 2 sine square theta. So 1 minus cos x will become 2 sine square x by 2. Now upon x cube है, एक x यहाँ पे चला गया, एक्स स्क्वायर यहाँ पे चला गया. जब हम फर्स्ट पार्ट में लिमिट अप्लाई करते हैं, लिमिट एक्सटेंडिंग टू 0 sin x अपॉन x तो 1 मिल गया, बट सेकेंड पार्ट में लिमिट अप्लाई नहीं होगा. क्यों? बिकॉज कंडीशन, थर्ड कंडीशन मैच नहीं हो रहा है, दोनों x सेम होने चाहिए. तो क्या होना चाहिए? x by 2 है, हमारे पास सिर्फ x स्क्वायर है, तो वी विल मल्टीप्लाई डिवाइड बाय 4. द रीजन 4 इज के साइन स्क्वायर x by 2 है. अगर वो सिर्फ साइन x by 2 होता तो मल्टीप्लाई डिवाइड बाय 2, लेकिन स्क्वायर है, सो मल्टीप्लाई डिवाइड बाय 4. सो वी विल राइट द नेक्स्ट स्टेप एज लिमिट एक्सटेंडिंग टू 0 2 sin x upon x into limit extending to 0 2 sin square x by 2 upon 4 into x by 2 होल स्क्वायर. ध्यान से देखो मैंने क्या किया है, मैंने मल्टीप्लाई डिवाइड बाय 4 किया है, लेकिन आई हैव टेकन दैट x by 2 इनसाइड द ब्रैकेट. सो नाउ स्टूडेंट्स व्हेन वी अप्लाई लिमिट्स हियर, ये 1 हो गया. व्हेन वी अप्लाई लिमिट्स हियर, ये भी 1 हो गया. सो यहाँ पे क्या बचा? 2 into 2 by 4 is basically 1 by 2. So 2 into 1 by 2, which is nothing but 1. And this is how you solve your sum. So I hope it is easy. Yes, let's move on to the next question, students. And our next question is limit extending to pi root of 1 minus cos x upon minus root 2 upon sin square x. Again students, it's a homework sum. What you have to do is I'll give you the hint to solve this sum and you will have to try it on your own. So सबसे पहले तो हम क्या करेंगे? सबसे पहले तो यहाँ पे हमारा ट्रिगो वाला फॉर्मूला जो है लिमिट का वो अप्लाई नहीं होगा. क्यों नहीं होगा? बिकॉज कंडीशन था एक्सटेंडिंग टू 0 होना चाहिए, बट यहाँ पे एक्सटेंडिंग टू पाई है. That means one thing is sure कि यहाँ पे वो लिमिट अप्लाई नहीं होने वाला है. दूसरा, सॉल्व कैसे करेंगे? रूट दिखा और as I said earlier, रूट दिखा तो rationalize. So you rationalize your numerator, solve it, and you can get your answer directly. So when you rationalize your numerator, you will get something in your numerator which is related to sin square x. तो sin square x को हम रिलेशन की हेल्प से लिख सकते हैं 1 minus cos square x, और 1 minus cos square x को हम लिख सकते हैं 1 minus cos x into 1 plus cos x. So उससे एक टर्म कैंसिल हो जाता है और हमें डायरेक्ट आंसर मिलेगा आफ्टर यू अप्लाई योर लिमिट्स. So this is how you solve your sum. So students, try this sum, practice this sum. If you have any doubt, you can contact us and your doubt will be solved. It will be cleared properly. Now students, moving on to the next question. Our next question is limit extending to pi root of 5 plus cos x minus 2 upon pi minus x whole square. So how to solve this? Now students, again, can you see root? That means you have to rationalize. So how to do it? But instead of rationalizing first, what we will do is we will apply limits. But if I apply limits, 0 by 0 आ गया. So limit तो apply नहीं होने वाला है, तो यहाँ पे solve कैसे करेंगे? So यहाँ पे हम use करने वाले हैं substitution method, or you can say change of limit method. So how to do it? So can I write x tending to pi as x minus pi equal to 0? So can I say x is equal to pi plus h? So students, when we say x minus pi is equal to 0, this 0 is not exactly 0, it is nearby 0, so it should be some constant, so that is h. Now when x is approaching pi, where is your h approaching? H is approaching 0. So from here what we can do is we will change the limits जो हमने already कर लिया है. तो यहाँ पे हमें मिलेगा limit x h tending to 0. जहां जहां पे x वहां वहां पे pi plus h होगा. So students, यहाँ पे what we will do is we will write this as root of 5 plus cos of pi plus h minus 2 upon pi minus x की जगह पे आएगा pi plus h, मतलब minus pi minus h whole square. Now students, your basics of trigo, your trigo formula, trigo table. Now cos of pi plus h है. Pi is this plus h, which quadrant? Third quadrant. Third quadrant में cos क्या होता है? Third quadrant में cos is negative. So from here can we write cos of pi plus h as minus of cos h, because no by 2, no change. So the next step will become limit h tending to 0 root of 5 minus cos h minus 2 अपॉन ये पाई पाई कैंसिल हो गया, माइनस एच का स्क्वायर बचा, और माइनस एच का जो स्क्वायर है वो नथिंग बट एच स्क्वायर है. नाउ यू हैव टू रैशनलाइज, बिकॉज यहाँ पे जो डिफिकल्ट पार्ट था वो हमने स्टार्टिंग में सॉल्व कर दिया. नाउ व्हेन यू रैशनलाइज you will get your sum easily. There are chances के sum easily solve हो जाएगा और 100% होगा. So we will write the next step, that is the rationalized part, as limit h tending to 0 root of 5 minus cos h minus 2 upon h square into root of 5 minus cos h plus 2 upon root of 5 minus cos h plus 2. So numerator is a plus b, a minus b form. That means a square minus b square formula. So we get the next step as limit h tending to 0 5 minus cos h minus 4 upon h square into root of 5 minus cos h plus 2. Now students, 5 minus 4 is 1. तो हमें क्या मिला यहाँ पे? हमें next step मिलेगा limit h tending to 0 1 minus cos h upon h square into, अभी ये जो ब्रैकेट वाला पार्ट है डिनोमिनेटर में, वहां पे हम डायरेक्टली लिमिट अगर अप्लाई कर देते हैं तो भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, क्योंकि वैसे भी वो एक्स्ट्रा पार्ट है, वहां पे वो जीरो नहीं आने वाला है. सो व्हेन वी अप्लाई दैट वी नो दैट cos 0 is nothing but 0. We know that cos 0 is nothing but 1. So we get 5 minus 1 is 4 and root 4 is nothing but 2. So we will get 2 plus 2 which is 4. Now 1 minus cos h, इसे देख के किसी की याद आई? Yes, trigo formula, half angle formula. So next step क्या मिलेगा? Limit h tending to 0. What is 1 minus cos, students? 2 sine square h by 2 upon h square into 4. Can we apply limits directly? No, second condition match नहीं हो रहा है. So multiply divide by 4. So when we multiply divide by 4 and after that when we apply limits here, this whole part will become 1 and we are left with what? 2 upon 16, which is nothing but 1 by 18. And this is how we solve our sum. So students, I hope you understood how to solve such type of sums. This is called as change of limits method or substitution method. So students, let's take one more sum, but it's your homework sum. And same pattern, same method. We are given the question limit x tending to pi by 4 root 2 minus cos x minus sin x whole upon 4x minus pi whole square. Change of limits x minus pi by 4 is equal to h. So x will become pi by 4 plus h. And along with that, students, when x is approaching pi by 4, h is approaching 0. So लिमिट चेंज करो, जहां जहां पे x है वहां वहां पे पाई बाय 4 प्लस एच डालो, एक्सपांड करो, सॉल्व करो, कैंसिल करो, आंसर लाओ. दैट्स इट. So try this sum at home, students. Yes, 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 your answer is right. It is 1 by 18 or 2 by 16. Okay, now Yash, one thing, 2 by 16, if you keep it, there are high chances के यहाँ पे half mark cut हो सकता है, because you can solve 2 by 16 as 1 by 8. So 1 by 8 is the actual answer. 2 by 16 अगर पेपर चेकर का मूड अच्छा है तो मार्क्स मिल जाएगा, अदरवाइज देयर आर हाई चांसेस कि हाफ मार्क कट होने वाला है. सो ऑलवेज सॉल्व योर सम टिल एंड, जहां तक यू कैन सिंप्लीफाई. नाउ मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, स्टूडेंट्स. आवर नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज लिमिट एक्सटेंडिंग टू 0 5 raised to x minus 3 raised to x upon x. How to solve this? Now looking at this sum, किसी की याद आई students? Yes, there is a formula. What is the formula? Limit extending to 0 a raised to x minus 1 upon x is equal to log a. Apply this formula. लेकिन ये formula apply करने के लिए -1 की जरूरत है हमारे पास? नहीं है तो लेके आओ. कैसे? We can write this as limit extending to 0 5 raised to x minus 1 minus 3 raised to x minus 1. As I said earlier, students, when you can't change your question, start playing with your question. So यहाँ पे -1 plus 1 किया, जोड़ी बनाओ. The moment you make pairs, split your denominator. So you get the next step as limit extending to 0 5 raised to x minus 1 upon x minus 3 raised to x minus 1 upon x. Now students, this is in the form of algebra of limits, that is minus. So limits दोनों के साथ जाएगा, एंड जैसे ही लिमिट्स दोनों के साथ जाएगा हम यहाँ पे वो फॉर्मूला अप्लाई करेंगे, बिकॉज तीनों कंडीशन मैच हुआ. x टेंडिंग टू 0 है, -1 है और दोनों x भी सेम है. सो व्हेन वी अप्लाई लिमिट्स वी गेट log 5 minus log 3. Now students, tell me one thing. Log 5 minus log 3, answer log 2 आएगा? Yes? No. Your answer log 5 minus log 3 will not be log 2. Do not dare to write that, because if you do that it will be absolutely wrong. So यहाँ पे log 5 minus log 3, the final answer will become log 5 by 3. Laws of logs. So this is the reason I told you should have your basics strong. So students, I hope you understood how to solve this sum. Now let's move on to the next question. And again students, the next question is a homework question and how to solve this. So the question is evaluate limit extending to 0 3x plus 2 upon 2 minus 5x raised to 1 by 3x. Which formula? इसे देख के कोई formula याद आया? It will be limit extending to 0 1 plus x raised to 1 by x. What is the condition to apply this formula? So the condition to apply this formula is extending to 0 होना चाहिए, 1 plus होना चाहिए और दोनों x same होने चाहिए, जो नहीं है हमारे पास. So यहाँ पे हम क्या करेंगे? So यहाँ पे सबसे पहले तो ये 3x plus 2 जो है उसे हम 1 के फॉर्म में लिखेंगे. तो 3x plus 2 को हम लिख सकते हैं 1 plus 1 plus 3x, and 2 minus 5x को हम क्या लिखेंगे? So 2 minus 5x को हम लिखेंगे 1 plus 1 minus 5x, and then split your power with help of laws of indices, apply your limits, and you will get the answer. So students, try this sum. It's a homework sum. And students, moving on to the next part. The next part is limit extending to 0 e raised to 2x plus e raised to minus 2x minus 2 whole upon x into sin x. Now e raised to 2x plus e raised to minus 2x, that means one thing is sure, that you have to apply formula. Which formula? Limit extending to 0 e raised to x minus 1 upon x, which is 1. Now the moment you do that, but the student, the thing is you have e raised to 2x and e raised to minus 2x. सो यहाँ पे हमें कुछ ना कुछ तो बेसिक अप्लाई करना ही पड़ेगा क्योंकि लिमिट तो डायरेक्टली डाल नहीं सकते. सो द हिंट फॉर दिस सम इज limit extending to 0 e raised to 2x and e raised to minus 2x को लिखो 1 upon e raised to 2x minus 2 whole upon x into sin x. Take LCM, get it in your form, that is formula form, apply your limits and you will 100% get your answer. So students, I hope you enjoyed today's session. I hope you liked today's session. I hope it was easy, it was interesting. Now students, it's time to end this session here. But if you want more such sessions in details where we can solve each and every sum, if you want many unsolved sums, you will have to download the app. And again, a reminder students, you will get a 14 days free trial. So what are you waiting for? Download the app and make the maximum use out of it. So students, this is Arpan Ashar signing off for the day. Enjoy.